What's going on, everybody? This is Travis Laska, and I'm back with another video. And today I'm going to be talking about the Dell HP 10 laptop, which is what I have. And for those of you who do not know, I actually bought this laptop about over 5 months ago, and today I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should get this laptop. So basically what I'm going to start off with is, the weight of the laptop, okay? So I'm going to pull out my laptop, and now I have this on my lap right now. So if you look at the top, which is your lid to the laptop, if you notice that it has a couple of little spots on it and stuff like that, and you have the Dell logo on it. And then if you go into the back, this is where the screen actually connects to the laptop. Then on the left, you have your charging port to put your plug in. Then if you move further down, you have a connection port for a USB flash drive. Then you have, if you move further down from that, you actually have a another spot for a USB port. And then as you continue to move further, this is where you can actually put different, if you wanted to put like a cartridge or something like that, you could put the cartridge into like the little hole that's below the USB port. And then as soon as you go around the laptop, this spot that my thumb is on is actually where you actually open it up. And then moving further around it, you have going to the right of the laptop, you have your headphone jack. Then you have another USB port. And then you have a couple more outlets to to actually say if you have a couple of extra plugs to plug in or something like that. Like say if you wanted to connect to like maybe an Xbox or something like that, you can connect it to an Xbox or something like that. And then as we move to the bottom, if you notice on the bottom, there's a spot where the ventilation comes out, and then you have going directly into the middle of it, you have a couple of little features on the bottom of it where just it has a couple of symbols on the bottom of it. And then if you go directly back to the part where you open up the laptop, this is where the battery is stored. So, and again, as I've said, this is a rather light laptop, so I think most of you guys, like I said in the beginning, This is, so far, one of the greatest specs of it. So now I'm going to open up the laptop. And now, starting from the screen, you have on the top you have your camera plus the flashlight. And then when you go further down from the laptop, there's your screen where you'll see a lot of your images, your lettering if you're sighted, or if you're like me that can only see lights, shadows, and pictures, you can see your images and things like that on the screen right there. And then for those of you who actually can't see, is that this screen is actually really thin. It's really thin. So then, moving over to the keyboard portion of it, as you can see on the top left, you have your keys, all your basic keys that you use on a computer, escape, F1, F2, F3, F4. And then if you go over to the right side, this is your on-off switch. So, and then moving further to the bottom, you have, of course, your spacebar, and then this, below the spacebar, this is actually your touchpad, which basically is like a touch mouse, basically. And that's actually one of the things that I actually like about this computer, is that I actually don't have to press the mouse key to actually activate it. I can actually just double tap it. So I'm going to start this up, and we're going to get to some of the, some of the big features of the laptop. So I'm going to start this up now. See, there you go, it's loading up now.
Desktop with Windows sign-in dialog 10 ratio.
And there you go. That's NVDA. As you heard talking, that's actually the default voice for NVDA, which is eSpeak, which I'll talk about that in another video. So I'm going to log into my user account.
6. English United. Star. 0. Welcome.
Alright, now I'm logging in. Which, one thing I really like about this computer is that it's really fast when it comes to logging in. It's very fast. It's nothing like, what Acer's is like. This is a really fast computer. And as you heard a little while ago, that's NVDA again. That just loaded. That's actually one of the voices that I have on NVDA, which is actually, I honestly think, not only on NVDA, but also if you activate narrator, which I'll talk a little bit more about further in the video. And basically, you actually have, for your actual Windows voices, you have Microsoft David, Microsoft Zira, which is what I'm using right now, and then you also have Microsoft Mark. And just recently they added also Microsoft Hazel, which is the British voice for Windows 10. So I'm just waiting for the computer to actually log onto the actual system.
New notification from security and
Sorry about that, I had to
Task
reload the NVDA program. Sorry about that. So now, getting back to what I was talking about previously, was the factor that those three voices are actually built into the Windows, not three, four, sorry about that. Those four voices are actually built into the Windows 10 system. Although Mark is actually was originally for Windows 8. They also added it to Windows 10 as well. So now let's get to the narrator, which is what I'm gonna activate. So I'm gonna exit NVDA, which I'll teach you about this in another video.
Exit NVDA dialog. What would you like to do? X. Restart. Exit.
Alright, so now I'm gonna enter through narrator, which what I do to turn that on is I hold down my Windows key and then I press enter. And then you'll hear a clicking sound when you enter narrator. So it's gonna sound a little something like this.
Narrator settings window. Press any key on the keyboard to hear the name of that key. Dialog.
So that's narrator. And there's quite a few things that you can actually do with narrator. And this is if, say, for those of you who are blind that don't yet have a screen reader that they're trying to set up. This would actually be a perfect scenario for narrator. So the best way to think of this is Windows basically has, in Windows 10, it already has a screen reader that's built into it. So next I'm going to get into the Cortana app, which I actually had set up myself. And one of the ways you can actually access it, and I actually set up the activation key for it, is by saying Hey Cortana. And
Cortana.
there you go, that just activated it.
I didn't follow what you said. Can you phrase it another way?
How are you?
Exit cancel button.
I'm awesome.
How are you?
Awesome. Thanks for asking.
So there's Cortana right there. And then you also have the built-in antivirusware, which is through Windows Defender. And then one of the programs I actually have on my computer that I use on a daily basis a lot is Word. I believe it's Word 2013, which is a Word file through Microsoft Office. And you can look up many videos based off of Microsoft Office Word and on how to use that, so I won't do anything based off of that. So, and then the next big thing that's definitely a pro on this is you actually have at least 8 gigs of RAM, and I believe it's over 900 gigs of storage. I believe it is. So if you really think about that, that's really, really good for somebody that's, you know, constantly having to work, you know, on their computer. And I wouldn't really put it as a gaming computer, but like if you're working and you have to use your computer a lot for work, this is a really good computer. I shall say that. And then one of the cons I would have to say about this computer, which I actually don't mind this, but it can be a little annoying sometimes, is when you go to start it up and it pulls up the account folder where it'll ask you to set up an account, in which, yes, I know I can dismiss it, which during the video you did see me do it, but after a while it does get a little annoying. But then again, I don't mind it, you know what I'm saying? So, for those of you who are really looking at getting yourselves a computer, I would totally recommend this. Because even though it was, you know, very expensive, you know, as long as you're getting it at a good time of the year, like say around late August, which is actually when I got this. And I got this for about $200. So, if you really think about it, it's a pretty good deal. But anyways, this is Travis Laska, and I am signing out. Please like, comment, or subscribe. Peace out.